Woo, look at that. We are
Worked the first
recording.
time. All righty. So today is May 9th, Ortelius Outreach meeting.
Right now, the only thing we need to think about is getting all of our recordings in for May 20th. We have 11 days.
I'm in trouble there. I know what I'm talking about. I just haven't done it yet.
And
It's all in my head. It's just
everybody has a banner, so you should be social networking it. The CDF is pushing it out for us. They put it on their schedule, and they're now going to start pushing it out. Everything is really ready, I think, to go, except we just need to get our recordings. So let's try to get whatever recordings we can. We still have one spot open, and there is a woman from NatWest who is interested in doing a presentation for us. So I'm going to go ahead and accept her on there. We had Arvin, but he hasn't submitted anything yet. And since we're so close, I'm going to just let him know that we're going to keep a spot open for him next time and invite her to do it. And I'm going to do that right now before I forget.
Do you remember her name?
I'm going to look it up right now. Her name is
I'll just drop it in there.
Pia, P-I-A, and she wants to do a talk on automating microservice configurations using Ansible. So it's a really good, relevant talk. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and forward it to her and Siddharth. Siddharth has recruited her. She works under Siddharth.
What was the title of the topic?
Automating microservice configurations using Ansible. Says one of the main principles of microservices is to be independently deployable. As a consequence, microservice development operations tend to be much more complex than a monolith because of their distributed nature. If your team has not moved out yet from its silos and has adopted DevOps practices, the operations team will not really understand why they have to deploy hundreds of independent software pieces. In this talk, Via will throw some light on how to open source automation tool. Ansible can automate all microservice configuration changes for build and deployment. And we integrate with Ansible, even though we don't talk about it a lot.
Yeah, under the cover, we actually use the Ansible to move things around and do a bunch of remote work.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and reach out to her and see if we can't get her on a call, maybe, so she can understand how we actually integrate with Ansible. So she can talk a little bit about that as well. So I'm going to respond to her right now. So that will give us all the talks, and I think that will be a really good one. And we need a woman. We don't have any women presenting.
Okay, cool. Anything else on the Visionaries other than we need the recordings?
We just got to get everybody's recordings in. I think that's the biggest thing. And then Simon, you have a podcast coming up tomorrow. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I just share with that. I think I just need his picture so I can give you the match so you can get the advertisement ready. But I haven't received his response yet. Can you bring him again, or what is
his name?
I have to check. I forget.
Is it Mark Eisenberg? Is that who's doing the podcast?
Because I can steal his picture from LinkedIn or somewhere if he has it.
His name is Mark Eisenberg. If you have his picture, just share with me on the email.
Let me see. Is it M-A-R-K?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who does he work for?
I think I have to go through that. I think he worked for Microsoft.
Oh, I know who he is.
Yeah, I
You know what?
believe
He uses this crazy picture. So we should just steal it from, he has somebody illustrated his picture. And that's what he uses everywhere. So I'm gonna save that image and we'll just use that image. If that's the one he has on, that he's used to using, that's the one we should just go ahead and use.
Yes, absolutely. I gave him as a reminder on last Friday. I do it again today, so able to know it. I think he worked for the Microsoft, and he shared some of the podcasts that previously done. He's done on the AC podcast on the Microsoft Radio side. So it's good to have if he get ping us today.
Well, I'm gonna steal his LinkedIn image that he uses, because this is what he uses almost all of his talks. And I'll send that over to Matt. He's got finals today, so I don't know if he's going to work later today. So I'll ask him if he can. I think I should be able to pull something together. I'll just pull it together for you and send it off as soon as we get off of this call.
Yes, absolutely.
And
you just give me the picture, so if I have time, I will definitely create a banner for today's.
Yeah.
And make that visibility.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Do you need any other help on that, Simon, or are you pretty much set other than the picture? You're on mute.
Yes, I just need to create some questionnaire ready for tomorrow. So I will share the link with you. If you have any question, you can put to that doc as well. So I will hope I can capture those in the live stream tomorrow.
Cool.
All right, I'll get that stuff to you and we'll get it out, ready to be pushed out as soon as that we get the recording done.
Yes, absolutely.
So moving onward, T-shirts and jackets, we're getting closer for getting the invoices, and it's on my to-do list to get those invoices when they come in paid. We're just going to pay them out of Deploy Hub for now. We eventually will get the crowdfunding hooked up, and we'll be able to use that for swag down the road. So that's happening. Utkarsh has volunteered to be our India Ortelius distribution center.
Poor Utkarsh. And Siddharth's going to be doing the nylon jackets, and Utkarsh is going to be doing the t-shirts. Simon, do you know where is it easy to do mail between India and Pakistan? Or is there a challenge for that? Is it easier for us to send you mail, or is it easier for India to send you mail?
I think previously some of the companies they sent it to me as swag. Like Lens gave me the swag in just one day, and they are using the THL previously. And
okay,
I think previously if you go to if you send to the India and then it give back to me, I think it's not take too much of time. It's just to the provider, because a lot of the provider takes enough time, and some of the provider already have a very good team, so they can give you some 24 hours and ship is landed to you.
okay. So Arvind set up a form for us. I'll send that form out for everybody who has earned a badge and is supposed to have gotten a t-shirt by now. I'll get that sent out so you can give us address and your size. And as soon as we get those numbers, then we're going to split the boxes up. So for example, Sasha's, yours is going to take a little longer because it's going to have to come to us, and then we'll send it to you from the US. Everybody who is in everybody in India will be, and Pakistan will be sent from Utkarsh and Siddharth.
Look forward to it.
Yeah, finally getting it.
Presents.
Yes. It makes sense for us to actually have a made in India, because there's the majority of contributors right now are coming from India, and then everybody's everywhere else. So that's why we did it this way, even though it took us a little more time to figure out how to find somebody and then get them paid. Just challenges with doing global business.
And once now that it's figured out, it'll be easier to move forward in the future. First time's always the hardest.
Hopefully
Yeah.
so.
Does anybody know if the virtual talks for CDCon list has come out yet? The virtual
I have heard
schedule.
nothing about the virtual schedule. Let's look online right now and see.
Yeah, so we could look why. So, and then just to update, Brad McCoy is going to be presenting at KubeCon in Spain as part of the CD events track. So we just got off the CD events working group meeting, and they have a pretty good day, like a day zero. They have like 150 people in person that are going to be attending. So it should be a good showing. And part of it, I believe, is going to be broadcast virtual as well. So check out the KubeCon schedule in the CD events track. That's where Ortelius is going to be highlighted. And if we can support Brad, that'd be great.
Yes, apparently they've added a bunch of virtual sessions now.
Can you just drop the link in chat and we'll just go from there?
There's the virtual schedule.
Okay,
They're in light purple. They're doing one on cloud security. They added a Jenkins one, Jenkins, Spinnaker, and Terraform. They added another Tecton. They added a general one about learning 25 years of CI/CD mistakes. Top ways to reach production. How we build CI/CD observability with another telemetry one. Jesus Christ. CD Foundation best practices, DevSecOps, how to grow and mentor open source community. Lightning talk, parameters in jobs and templates. Something by KK for Launchable. Somebody from Netflix. It doesn't look like we got any additional ones.
Okay.
I think we would have been notified if we had a. Brian
Right.
Dawson got another one. He's got 3 talks now. Modern organizational architecture. Oh, that's the same one. So that's, oh, right now, all there, it looks like they've done, Steve, is made some of these,
Broadcastable.
maybe that you can see them virtual, because that was already one that he was going to do. And I can't
Right.
believe they would have added another telemetry. So I don't know if they're adding additional ones. Brian's talk with where Anne Marie and Brian are on, that will be a virtual session. But see, those were already scheduled. They just added those as the virtual ones that will be recorded probably there. I'm guessing they couldn't have every single session virtual because they would have had to select a room to broadcast it from.
Right.
So in terms of additional ones that are virtual only, I don't see any, and I don't know if that was the intent. So I am not sure what the heck is going on with that. I did get a note. I can't say anything because it hasn't been announced yet, but I did talk to Chris Anisich about the fact that we have an empty GM spot, and we have for 6 months, and I complained again. And they said that we would be getting an announcement within the week. And I know who they brought, or they're going to bring, they've brought on. There's a lot for that person to take over right now. But what I want to do is make sure that we are front and center when that person does take over, as well as the CD events group. So we will have some bugging to do of the person that they've brought on. The good news is that that person already knows about what we're doing, and that person knows the team, and I think it'll be good for us. But I think there'll be some work for us to do to make sure that we're evangelizing Ortelius within the CD Foundation. Now, another good news, drum roll, ching, we got accepted as one of the semifinals for our $75,000 grant for Ripple. Woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. I know. It's pretty exciting. And I don't know what that means. I just know that we made the first cut and we're going to be, we're in the second round for evaluation. So it's good that we're still there. We're still hanging in there. And according to Brian, we are the most open source of all the projects, and it's supposed to be open. It's supposed to be money going to open source projects. So I feel pretty confident that, you know, out of the giant pile of money that they have, that we might be one to get selected.
Great.
That's great.
So in terms of outreach right now, we just need to get the Visionary Summit pulled together. And secondly, we need to start thinking about how to better present ourselves inside the CDF. Steve and I need to work on that in terms of presenting Ortelius inside the open SSF. And I believe that on the CDF side, we need to work to align ourselves with the CD events team. That team is small, but it should be, in my opinion, and everybody agreed with this when we were in November, that the CD events should be the primary project that the CDF is pushing. So if we can align ourselves with that, and we have to some extent, because we've already started doing work around Kepton, and that's what's being shown in Valencia. And Sasha is very aware of all that. The problem that we have is that we haven't completed the story. We still, you know, we don't have a demo. We should pull together a demo for CD events and how we interface with Kepton, so that we can start evangelizing Ortelius inside this the CDF. If you look at, you know, and this is recorded, and I'm sure somebody will hear it and complain about Tracy, but if you look at that CDCon lineup, in my opinion, they did not focus on the things, on the messaging that we need to get out. They didn't focus on CD events. They didn't focus well on their projects, and they didn't support their committers. So it's kind of diluted right now, and I don't know why. And I'm hoping that their new GM, that we can, I'm planning on giving them an earful as soon as they start working. And I'm hoping that we can kind of shift the CD Foundation a little bit and have them think more about what they should be doing for the community at large. And interoperability is probably the biggest problem we have. And that's what that whole events program is all about, is simplifying it. So I think as we move forward in SIME, we might want to try to get somebody from Kepton on a podcast. We could get somebody from the CD events on a podcast, and we will probably want to see if we can't get the new GM on a podcast.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I will take down these lists. So Captain is a little easier for me because Andres is already know me. I just have to ping him, and we can set a podcast on the next month, or even we can do it in the later this month.
And maybe we need to pull in the podcast list. We can think about doing a panel, like get what is his name? Andy Grabner, I think his name is.
Yes, Andy Grabner.
Andy Grabner would be a good one too, because he's actually, you know, he actually is. I think there's some pull requests out there from him, because I found his name on the under GitHub that has committed to us. So I feel like we should bring him into the fold as well.
Yes, absolutely. We definitely give him. I think he's one of the co-founder of the Captain project. He works as a developer advocate at Dynatrace. So it's very easier for me. I just give him a Slack channel on CDF Foundation side, and he would be love to have join us on the podcast.
And we should bring Brad in on that as well.
That would be an amazing pot. That would be amazing.
I think if we do a panel discussion on that, I think it would be good to kind of have everybody's perspective.
Yes, absolutely. We can either go with, like, we can do resume the office hours, and we can post it on LinkedIn and all the social media as well. And we can do the podcast that we usually do with. I have done it previously, Andres and Brad McCoy on the Cloud Native Islamabad side. So they already know me. So it is really easier for me. So I just try to ping both of them, and we try to set something. And
then I would add Steve in there as well to represent the CD events group. So then you have one person from CD events and two people from Kepton. So Steve can serve both sides, the Ortelius side and the CD event side.
Well, I think we should
So-
bring, I really think we should bring Brad in because he's doing a lot of the plumbing.
No, I think so too. So it'd be Brad and Andy and yourself
Okay,
Yes,
that
absolutely.
makes sense.
And
for a panel.
when do you think we could do it on the seed on the next month, or is it the last week of this month?
It would be good to do it in June because that
Yeah,
because of
follow up
CDCon.
from, I think we should follow up after KubeCon Valencia and
And
before
Before CDCon.
CDCon.
So
there
it might be hard because, no, that's only, the CDCon is the first week of June. But if we can do it as a follow-up to CD events, there's going to be a CD events on Friday at CDCon. I don't know who's going to show up for it because they put it on Friday, which is a whole day for people to sit around and do nothing, which was weird. But because most of the talks are on Wednesday. But if we could do it as a follow-up to the CD events day, what are they calling it? A co-located event on that Friday. That would be, and I think that would be the best way to go. So have it like the 15th of June,
15th of June. Okay.
the week after. And you're doing most of these in the middle of the month. So it'd be a month from now to pull it together.
Yes, absolutely. So I will book that 15th of the June, the next week when the KubeCon CityCon is ended. The next week to the KubeCon, we can follow up with the KubeCon plus CityCon on that event.
Yep. And that's a Wednesday, so that's a perfect day to do it.
Yes, absolutely. So I just find the emails from all of the people in and just set the agenda that we're doing this up. So everybody be ready.
Perfect.
Cool.
So that's the work we have to cut out for us. And I think that on the Deploy Hub side, we might need to, I know Steve's got a lot that he's doing focused on aggregating the SBOM data. I feel like we need to finish the loop on integration with GitOps. I don't know how big of a deal that is, Steve, but I think that maybe that's something you should talk about on the architecture side.
Yeah, right now on the architecture, we've been focusing on the Ripple grant. So, and Utkarsh, I'm not sure if I'm going to be in DC on Thursday. I think my schedule is going to be able to do the meeting. But I will.
You will. They couldn't get you in for Thursday, but you got a confirmed seat for Friday.
Okay. So yeah, I'll be able to do our architecture meeting on Thursday, and that's going to be the code review for the XRPL changes, and that's lining up perfectly. I did send Tracy sent a message off to Brian Dawson, letting him know that our proof of concept code is in the repo now, because that was one of the criteria that they had for the grant. So we're going to go through that code walkthrough on Thursday, and then that should pretty much wrap up what we need for Ripple, and then we can start focusing back on the GitOps pieces.
Hey, Steve, could
Okay.
you put the link to the docs in the chat so everybody can sign in?
There it is. And if you don't have access, we just need to have you join the Ortelius Google group and you get access to that.
Yeah, Steve, and just FYI regarding the Captain Ortelius services that we are writing. So, last week or something, me and Brad spoke regarding what services needs to be there.
Cool.
So there are two pieces that are pending right now. One of them is collecting Helm charts for the rest of the repos. So currently we don't have that. And the other one is what services that we need. So for that services, what services we need, what I did, I'm creating one doc regarding what all APIs that we have currently, what all APIs from the Ortelius side we have. So I'll just walk Brad through all the APIs that we have so we can figure it out, what additional API would we need.
Okay. If you need help on the API thing, let me know. Because there's some APIs in the monolith and the Tomcat side that aren't like exposed and documented, but we can kind of get to them if we need to.
Okay. Yeah, so once I create a document, I'll just share that with you. And if you see any of the APIs that I'm missing, you can just let me know.
Yeah. And then on the Helm chart side, I'm like 95% of the way through with those. I ran into this weird thing with the Helm chart, the way the Helm charts need to be updated and aggregated. It's just this weird loop that we get into and to get repos.
Okay.
So I will focus on that shortly, but we're close.
That's great.
All right, cool, awesome. Anybody have anything else? We're at the top of the hour for us.
I just want to make sure we have everybody's name in the minutes. Everybody signed in. Mateo, I got you in there. Mateo, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, it's first time for me. So I only listen what you are doing now, and I try to maintain this calling with you. Okay, so for this time I only listen and understand what I can do for you.
I'm sure we will find work for you. There's as you get involved, we bring you more and more in. So please join again and keep us in mind in terms of the things that you can help to work on. So this particular committee is pretty much focused around outreach. So any kind of things you want to do, like writing a blog, participating in our Visionary Summit, which we do every 6 months, keeping us apprised of where we can submit talks is kind of what we do with this group. Speaking of which, there's two more. There are 2 more virtual events or events that we should be looking at. DevOps World 2022. I think the last day to submit is on May the 12th. So we still have a few days if you want to do DevOps World. Let me look at my session eyes and let me tell you what talks are out there really quick. So we can just add that really fast here. There's something called World Festival 2022, which kind of is an interesting one. This is one Siddharth brought up. And then there's All Day DevOps. So one's on August 3rd, and it is all virtual, and the other one's on November 10th through the 11th, All Day DevOps. Let me see if I can find All Day DevOps and World Festival. Let me see. I had never heard of this World Festival. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty broad, but I think that's okay. And then All Day DevOps. If somebody else is looking for this and finds it before me, just put it in the chat. Okay, here's All Day DevOps. And they are looking for talks right now. It's totally open. And this is a global thing. It's, who knows what time you're going to speak. It's 24 hours of DevOps. So be prepared. But it's kind of fun. And it's one that people have done for quite some time. I can't find my chat session. Okay, there's All Day DevOps. And we probably should put that in the, now let me go to World Festival. Yeah, I did. I went ahead and submitted, I did one on taming microservices. They have a track on a tech exec summit as well as like cloud computing. Let me see if I can find it's weird. I can't find I can find it in Sessionize, but usually Sessionize has a link. World Festival 2022 is called World Festival 2022. Science. I only pick it up in Sessionize. Weird. This might be it. It's not opening though. Huh. Must have a ton of images or something. No, that's definitely not it. All right. Festival software 2022. No, this is, I found it. I found it. And there's the other one. So anybody who likes to speak, I would say come up with a topic. Hopefully you can come up with a topic that does outreach around Ortelius. But both of those are good ones to reach out to. The Center of World Innovation. This says it's August 3rd through the 10th. Is that what I said it was going to be? I'm looking at it right now. I can't tell. I believe that's correct, though. Discovery events. I don't know if anybody else uses Sessionize, but it is a good way to find out who's accepting talks.
But Sessionize, is it for all the conferences or what?
Yeah, if you sign up and
Who's
you,
talking?
yeah, some places they expect you to use Sessionize. Oh, there's a Kubernetes Community Day in Amsterdam in October. God, that'd be fun to do.
That sounds good.
Is it
See you at a coffee shop.
exactly or a tea shop? I'd be there.
Yourself. Yeah.
I'd love to see Amsterdam.
Yeah, I've been there. Oh, you must go. It's amazing.
We can't, for some reason, Steve, you're muted.
So for the World Festivals, the first round was May 6th. This final round proposal is July 8th. I don't know what that means.
It means that they do a first set of picks and then they do the rest so that they can do early promotion.
Mm.
So I got mine submitted for the early promotion, but there's still time for to be accepted.
Got it. Okay, we'll run over.
Okay. All right. Thank you and welcome, Mateo. So thank you for attending our outreach meeting today.
Okay.
All right, take care, everybody.
Cheers, everyone.
Good night. Good morning.